See, with our ARs, we're citizens. Without them, we'll be slaves. They're not assault weapons. They're sporting weapons. It's necessary to protect my family from tyrannical government.
Why do you think there are so many mass shootings?
Because that's what's on the agenda for the left. They want to take guns away from law-abiding citizens.
Protesters pushed up against barricades, keeping them away from the NRA meeting site. It's tense. The pain of a national tragedy does not bridge divides here.
When was a shooter a member of the NRA? I want you to tell me. You can't, because it never happened and it never will. You're an idiot.
I believe you have the right to own a firearm, but I do not believe you should be 18 years old to be able to have an AR. When you use an AR, you're going to kill people. You don't go hunting for deer with an AR.
When the founding fathers defined freedom, they didn't think that ARs were going to be part of it.
Or black people.
Yeah.
Or people of color.
People of color.
And how about freedom? They want to talk about how we shouldn't ban guns because that's hurting our freedom. How about abortion? We're forcing women to have kids.
I see you have an Antifa flag right here. How would you describe yourself politically?
I'd say I'm a socialist. So I believe in taxing the church, taxing the rich, abolish the police. Police are supposed to protect us in schools, right? But in Uvalde, they didn't. When I get older, old enough, 21, I'm gonna own a firearm because I don't trust police to solve my cases.
Marx said in his Communist Manifesto that we should arm the proletariat. Just arm the proletariat to ensure that they're able to defend themselves.
Well, my sign asks a pretty obvious question that I think everybody should be asking. This is the right time to have a celebration of guns right on the heels of more than a dozen kids and teachers getting murdered a few days ago in Uvalde. This is ridiculous that we're the only country that has to deal with this, and that's what today is all about, is voicing our righteous outrage at our elected officials and the people at the NRA who decided to celebrate guns with blood on their hands today.
This time at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas.
We've just learned the death toll is up to 19 children and 2 school employees gunned down during their last week of school.
The shooter legally purchased 2 AR variant long guns within a week of his 18th birthday.
Dude up there is tossing magazines out to the crowd. Give me one.
You got it.
We're here. We're in Houston. We're at the NRA convention. I think the mayor asked this not to happen. The governor pulled out, but it's still going down.
Shooting an RPG is the ultimate Vegas hooker experience. It seems like a great idea at the time. It's really, really expensive, and it's over way too fast. An RPG is a rocket-propelled grenade, so anything that launches that, they either call an RPG for short or a rocket launcher. Within the past couple of months, Airtronic did sell off about 30 of our older models through Gunbroker, so there's a lot of these in civilian hands now, and people are enjoying them. Remember, American made.
This is a MR 762A1. I don't know anything about guns, so I don't know what the hell this is. I'm pretty sure this is a gun. This is a gun.
I'm a big NRA proponent. I'm a life member. The timing sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. This doesn't have anything there's no connection between this and what happened in Uvalde. There just isn't.
What do you think that we can do to stop mass shootings like that?
I think it goes back to the basic family. I'm 66 years old. When I was in high school, we used to take our shotguns to high school to show our coaches if we got a new shotgun. Then we'd go bird hunting after school. There was never a school shooting when I was in high school. What's different from then to now? What's changed?
What do you think changed?
It's the family. Look how many single parent families there are. Just go to Chicago. Look at the amount of crime in Chicago. I mean, they have 40, 50 gun shootings a weekend.
I guess the difference would be that, like, in Chicago, a lot of that violence is gang-related. We're talking about kind of lone wolf shooters walking into an elementary school with an AR-15.
It's troubled kids. I'm not a big gamer, but, I mean, I've seen a lot of the video games, and there's a lot of them that are just shoot them up, blow them up, It doesn't look real.
Yeah. So how do you think we can rebuild the American family?
That's got to be done at the street level. Single parents are running 30-40% of the households. It takes 2 people to raise a kid.
Why does anybody need to have, an AR-15?
Guns have been around here since the beginning of America. So,
but back in the day, it was like muskets and stuff.
It doesn't matter. Nowhere in the Constitution does say.
right now, you have to go across the street, please.
What do you think about like increased background checks?
I think the background checks is adequate now.
Hey! Right there, exit, please. Across the street.
What do you think could have been done to prevent what happened in Uvalde a few days ago?
We could have banned assault weapons 20 years ago.
The murder at Uvalde, Texas will tell everyone that we need to have guns under control. We don't take guns away from people, but we have to have a proper background checks. That is the only way we can avoid these kind of murders of children. You cannot say, well, we hire police or these are mental people. Abbott, he said that there's a mental problems with the United States.
Anybody who shoots somebody else has a mental health challenge.
What about the rest of the world? Do they have mental problems too? No, they don't, right? So that's why we are here.
It's better that the government knows that people do have ARs. Governments have killed 260 million people in the 20th century. You know, Stalin, Mao, whatever. People say, oh, that'll never happen here. We all live in a bubble. We are the most privileged country on earth. From the homeless guys here to fucking Bill Gates. Ah, crap, where's I going with this? What was I gonna say? Okay, governments, this, that. Okay, you know who EDP is?
Yeah.
I'm the guy that caught him.
Wait, you're the guy who caught EDP?
Yeah.
So how do you think that we can prevent mass shootings like the one that occurred a couple days ago?
The reality is, there's Salvador Ramos is out there. The reality is, there's Peyton, whatever the hell his name was, Adam Lanzas, yada yada. People will be uncomfortable if there's teachers armed in schools.
Yeah, we need more guns around the schools. We protect our president with guns. We protect our congressmen with guns. We protect our governors with guns, our celebrities, sporting events, jewelry stores, banks. And then we protect our children with a sign that says, this is a gun-free zone.
I see that you have Rosa Parks here. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I met Rosa Parks. She's anti-abortion. She's a good friend of MLK. He's anti-abortion. He was anti-abortion. So, case closed.
I see that you have 2 Mike Lindell MyPillows attached to your belt loops on either side.
Yeah, Mike's a friend of mine. I've only met him once in person, but he knows what I've been doing for him.
He sounds like a good friend.
Yeah, he's a good friend, and this is a little bit more firm, and they're the best pillows I've ever had.
Which one do you prefer?
I prefer the softer one, the medium fill. The standard's a little tough on my neck.
Did you enjoy his pillows prior to his endorsement of Donald Trump?
Well, they've been around for a long time. I couldn't afford them. He cut the price in half now. Here's a tip. Don't order them through the mail because they come wrapped up with no box. Go to Walmart, get them in a box. The box is going to be worth more than the pillow.
Why?
Because it's classic. I'm getting ready to go over to the communists that are packing guns.
Do you think it's smart to engage with them?
I screamed profanity at them and it made them angry. They can't tolerate freedom of speech, but they expect me to tolerate them threatening me.
What is your favorite piece of profanity to hurl at an Antifa BLM soldier?
Fat baby butcher bitches. Fat baby butcher bitches.
Well, you're gonna go do it again?
Yeah, I'm gonna go do it again right now.
All right, well, I'll see you over there, man. Don't let those Antifa communist bastards take your pillows away. Godspeed, soldier. You're doing the right thing.
I had 150 of them screaming in my face on the 14th of this month. I met Rosa Parks. I don't give a fuck.
You don't know shit!
You don't either. Look
You're
at
a
you,
dumbass,
goofy.
and you're
You
proud
fucking
of your
inbred
stupidity.
fuck. You fucking fascist piece of shit.
Do you think there's any type of common ground that could be reached?
Yeah, there's a little give. I think they could change some of the requirements to own an AR. You know, back in the old days, we didn't have the same type of weapons. So they could change the law and make it 21.
Do you think that kid should have been able to buy an AR?
I don't know. Somebody worked on the kid's brain. They worked on that one in Buffalo also. He drove 300 miles to shoot black people at a store. He probably could have drove a few miles within the city he was already in.
I guess the main difference is like the dude in Buffalo was motivated by like racial hatred, whereas it seems like the guy.
It was only racial hatred because the guy was white.
But I think he had the N-word written on the gun, and he published like a big manifesto talking about.
Abortions and you motherfuckers had.
Well, that's what they're telling us.
Fuck you.
I don't know the facts because I hadn't seen them.
We are done with your bullshit.
Why would this kid put a manifesto together anyway.
Chuck Schumer didn't want us to pass laws to protect schools. He doesn't want cops in schools. He doesn't want to harden the target. He wants your kids to be killed. That's why the Democrats advocate for murdering children in the womb. They don't care about life. The NRA has a fucking thing to do with it. You idiot. When did the NRA kill somebody? You're an idiot. I know who you are. Dude, what the heck? I want to talk to you, yes.
Hell yeah, cool. So how do you feel about what's going on right now with them over there?
I don't not like them. They're human beings. I love everybody, okay? They have souls. You're an idiot. But it's just sad because they're confused.
Yeah.
The problem isn't the guns. The problem is a people problem, okay? Ever since 1973, we legalized abortion. I think that was a real downfall in American society because we've murdered millions of children. Why is it okay to murder children in the womb, but not okay to murder kids in school? I know this isn't your usual thing. You usually just let people talk, but I want to listen to what you think.
Well, I'm curious if you think there's any common ground that can be found between...
See, that's a very complicated thing to talk about, and I think there is room for that, okay? I think we can have mental health evaluations, and I think, what was it, Dad? What was the statistics like for the adult population?
It's about 25% of the adult population in America suffer from some form of mental illness.
Yeah. I think people in general should be evaluated and should have help. Whenever you go into a gun store, you have to fill out a paperwork called a 4473 and say, hey, they're going to run a background check. This 4473, this document, it's a document to look at your background, okay? It's not going to know the heart of man. We need to better keep up with the health of our people because we're suffering people, okay? We have more access to hardcore porn on the internet, whittling down the psyche of humans and literally making us just sick people. You can't legislate morality, and you can't tell what you are really going to do. But at the end of the day, we live in a free society, and we have these rights and privileges, and that's what happens. You know, they don't have school shootings in China because you can't own firearms in China.
Do you know that the most popular porn category in America right now is incest?
I had no idea, no.
Isn't that insane?
Why? Why is that the case?
Tonight, leggings, shapewear, and handbags came down the runway. But this is no ordinary fashion show.
Discreetly designed so no one can tell that you have a weapon.
The concealed carry fashion show targets what the NRA calls its fastest growing demographic, women.
All right, we just arrived in Uvalde, Texas, which, as most people know, is the site of the most recent mass shooting that took place around a week ago, where 19 students and 2 teachers were killed at Robb Elementary School. This is the Wendy's where the shooter worked. Apparently he used to work the graveyard shift at the drive-through window until about 2.5 weeks ago. He quit abruptly once he had saved up about $4,000, which was enough to buy 2 assault rifles, ammunition, and a bulletproof vest. This is the store where the school shooter picked up the guns and ammunition that he used in the shooting. He actually ordered the guns online, but this was like a transfer store where they shipped it here and then he picked it up. This is where the shooter drove his pickup truck through a guardrail and crashed out, like right here. Got out of the car, went over to the funeral home here, shot at a few people, but then didn't hit anybody. Then he walked over into this building, and that was the site of all this.
You go to sleep seeing their faces. You wake up seeing their faces.
what can we tell them? We don't want to scare them. And the other poor little innocents that didn't make it. You know, their father's parents were going crazy looking for them. I'm sure they're in a lot of pain.
And my husband was here getting the mail when he heard gunshots, but he's having a hard time because he just wished he could have done something to prevent it. Our community will never be the same.
Si decimos que no hemos pecado, le hacemos a él mentiroso y su palabra no está en nosotros. Amen.
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 Amen. Amen.
She loved Guns N' Roses. She loved that song, Sweet Child of Mine.
She's a beautiful little girl. I liked her smile. That was her favorite song. She loved Guns N' Roses, and she would
Hundreds of thousands of people.
she would dance around her room singing "Sweet Child of Mine."
I love this country, and I'm so grateful for everything it's given me and all the opportunity that I recognize I wouldn't have if I was somewhere else. That's not lost on me. And at the same time, this should encourage us to want to be better, and we're not.
Think AR should be banned?
Fuck yes. There's absolutely no reason for that.
Mind you, I have a pistol, but I don't think that a semi-automatic weapon is necessary in our country. I just don't see the need. I don't see the purpose. I think in this case, I know the bodies of the children were shredded as a result of that. What do we need that for? I don't understand it.
They say that like having those high capacity assault rifles are the final line of defense against a tyrannical government.
Oh, please. I think we're already facing a tyrannical government when we have things like this happen. Well, there's no excuse for this. I don't care what they say. They're wrong.
Unless it happens to one of their own, then they're not going to do anything. You know. And Ted Cruz, he's a sorry person for a position that he holds. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. But we're not supposed to say anything?
No, I'm not saying that.
If he can say what he wants, I can say what I want. They should have rushed in. That's their job. What, almost an hour before they decided to do anything? No, that's unheard of. It really is.
Breaking news in the investigation to the school shooting tonight. Texas DPS is telling us the Uvalde CISD police chief has not been cooperating with investigators. On Friday, DPS Director Steve McGraw said the school district police chief was the incident commander at Robb Elementary School who made the call to wait to take down the gunman.
If they had, they would probably save several of those lives.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
But this is fucking bullshit. Like, this is preventable, and this is absolutely unacceptable. When we talk about how great this country is, this is unacceptable.
Unfortunately, like so many things, in a couple of more months it'll blow over like this never happened, you know?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think this is going to blow over anytime soon.
Then the audacity of the people that went to the NRA convention in Houston, for them to say that they don't need to make any changes? What's wrong with them?